Yes people, welcome back, it's me Cream Slice, and today we are going all in guys. We're going all in with this stasis build. This definitely has to be one of the best stasis warlock builds right now. Just look at these poor champions. We're melting these champions in this Grandmaster Nightfall, making them look silly and just having fun while doing it. Totally just spamming our abilities, just making this Grandmaster Nightfall a breeze. And this is all because of the agers scepter, whichever the best pronunciation you can make up for this exotic, and we are using its final form. With a slightly quiet buff it received, this exotic is now totally busted guys. It is busted. If you thought it was great before, you're going to be amazed right now. And with all the fragments put together with the right aspects, we're going to make this build totally endgame material for you. So the main focus of this build is going to be the scepter with its catalyst, which by completing the exotic quest Hallow Coronation in the Season of the Lost and then running the astral alignment activity till your eyes bleed to finally get the catalyst to drop for you. So what this catalyst does is it basically doubles your magazine straight away and gives you an empowering beam with an 80% damage buff, which freezes and shatters enemies until your super runs out or the magazine runs out. The damage is enough to totally wipe out a barrier champion without it ever getting a chance to throw up its barrier, and that in itself is just totally insane. And like I said, with the right mods and exotic, we are going to make sure we are always using this empowered mode of the scepter. So the key exotic to keeping our super replenished pretty much all the time is the Mantle of Battle Harmony, the Warlock exotic chest piece. Kills with weapons that have a damage type matching your subclass grant super energy. Whilst your super is full, you gain a temporary damage buff. So putting these together is like a dish in England that I like to call bangers and mash. That is sausage and mash, people, with a side of gravy. If you don't know, you need bangers and mash. So stasis subclass, agers scepter, free super, you get the picture, it goes together. But this build just doesn't stop there. So let's break down the mods and the fragments to make this motherfucker catch a flame. Yep. So the first fragment we're going to be using in this build is Whisper of Fissures. It increases the damage and size of the burst of stasis. This recently had a big buff, so the size and the damage of the crystals are absolutely amazing. So for your trash ads, it makes it easier to wipe them out, to proc some of the mods that I'm going to go over shortly. It all synergizes well together. Whisper of Bonds, so defeating frozen targets grants you super energy. So when we use a battle of mantle harmony, we are getting kills with a scepter, which is buffing our exotic, which means that we are getting buff from our exotic as well as Whisper of Bonds. So we've got two great mods working together there to drastically replenish our super. The next fragment is Whisper of Chains. While you are near frozen targets or a friendly stasis crystal, you take reduced damage from targets. Last fragment is going to be Whisper of Conduction. Nearby stasis shards tracked to your position. By using the aspect Glacial Harvest, freezing targets create stasis shards around the frozen targets. Higher tier combatants create more shards. So as you could see from the video, when we were absolutely melting all of them champions, what was happening is that while we had our beam on them, they was just creating shards around them before we'd even killed them. So we were just getting free energy because them shards are going to track to us from Whisper of Conduction. So we're getting ability energy all over the place from just freezing our enemies. The last aspect is going to be Bleak Watcher. As we all know, this is the best grenade for a warlock on the Shadebinder subclass. High tier content, totally controlling the areas, controlling the champions. This is why this gets a slot for the aspects. Guys, if I am going a bit too fast for you, don't worry. In the description there is going to be a dim link to the exact build that I am going through right now. If we have a look at the armor mods really quickly, we have Taking Charge, trace rifle ammo finder. On your gauntlets we've got elemental shards. So if we take a look at this really quickly, elemental shards, stasis shards, they count as stasis elemental wells. So as you can imagine, we are going to be creating stasis shards with glacial harvest and the scepter, which will pick that up, and they pretty much act as elemental wells. So another great pairing with elemental shards is going to be elemental charge. So every time we pick up an elemental shard, it acts as an elemental well and we become charged with light that way. We're going to be making shit tons of shards, so you pretty much always become charged with light. And on there we've got trace rifle reserves as well. On the boots, protective light and better already, and a trace rifle scavenger. So we're going to be charged with light, so I was running a GM, so I put protective light on. And on the bond here, these are really important, these mods here, because these enable the synergy for us to spam our abilities, as you saw when we was humiliating them champions before in the GM. This combo here was allowing us to get amazing ability regen and constantly stun our champions. So thermoclastic strike, solar stasis, melees disrupt combatants. This is strong against overload champion. When you stun a champion, it will immediately refresh your ability, so you can just keep stunning them and making stasis shards from that, which, you know, regens your grenade, which I was throwing about 3 grenades down on one overload champion. RIP, and bless him. So resonance siphon is the next mod, gain stasis ability when you or your allies stun a champion. So yet again, we're stunning champions and we're gaining even more stasis ability back. And the last mod is well of potency. Matching elemental wells grants you super energy. The stasis shards count as elemental wells, people. So we are getting supers all over the place. This is why I'm saying that this build synergizes so well together, because we've got everything working together to keep our super up, which means we're never running out of our super, which means the only way we are running out of the final form of the scepter is when we run out of ammo. And hopefully with the mods that, you know, I've got up will help you keep your ammo refreshed at all times. It will be a little bit tricky in higher tier content because there's not that much going about, but in your lower tier activities and stuff, you know, reap the rewards. If you do not want to run well of potency, another great option is font of might. This will increase your damage for your scepter when you pick up an elemental shard. Gives you a 25% damage increase, which on top of the alternative fire mode, which gives you an 80% damage buff, over 100% damage buff, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that is a build, guys. Like I said, the link for the build is in the description. I'm Cream Slice, thanks for watching, peace.